From the dawn of Western storytelling, Greek mythology has carved a world where gods walked beside mortals, and love was an potent as lightning from Olympus. In the realm of eternal passions, we find love not as a simple emotion, but as a divine force, often turbulent, sometimes tragic, always transformative. Whether whispered through olive groves or sung by sirens beyond the sea, Greek myths carry timeless love stories that shape the very soul of ancient imagination. This is the story of immortal romance, of lovers cursed and blessed by faith, of God who burn with longing, and mortals who dare to love them. Welcome to Eros Eternal, love stories of Greek mythology. Long before love was spoken in human tongue, there was Eros, the primordial god of desire. Some say he was born from Chaos, others from Aphrodite herself, but one tale, both tender and transcendent, tale of his mortal beloved Psyche. She was no goddess, yet her beauty revealed Aphrodite, igniting the jealousy of the love goddess herself. To humble the girl, Aphrodite sent her son Eros to make Psyche fall in love with a hideous beast. But fate had other plans. On glance at her, and Eros, the god of love, became a victim of his own arrow. He failed deeply, irrevocably in love. But love in mythology is never simple. Psyche, unaware of her divine suitor, is taken to a hidden place where an unseen husband comes to her in darkness, forbidding her to ever look upon him. Night after night, they make love in shadow. Her heart swells with affection, yet doubt poisons her thought. Was, was he a monster, a trick? One night, unable to resist, she lights a lamp and sees the sleeping face of beautiful god Eros. A drop of oil falls on his skin, waking him, heartbroken by her betrayal. Psyche, shattered by the loss, embarks on a harrowing journey to prove her love. Aphrodite, still spiteful, sets her impossible task, sorting seed by night, fetching golden wool from deadly rams, retrieving water from the river Styx. Each time, with divine or secret aid, Psyche prevails. Finally, she is sent to the underworld to obtain a box of beauty from Persephone. Against all warning, she opens it and falls into a death like sleep. Moved by her endurance, Eros returned, rescuing her from the sleep of death. He pleads to Zeus, who grants Psyche immortality, so the lovers may unite forever. Their union is celebrated on Olympus, and Psyche becomes the goddess of the soul. The love of Eros and Psyche tells us that trust and perseverance can even bridge the gap between mortals and gods. In the shadow corner of myth, where love and sorrow entwine like ivy and marble, lives the haunting story of Orpheus. Eurydice. Orpheus was not a god, not a warrior, but a mortal born with a gift so divine it could bend and vary laws of nature, music, son of the muse Caliph and stricken king, Orpheus stamped his lyre with such etching beauty that rivers paused to listen, stones softened at his melodies, and oil-based gathered in peace around him. His songs weren't merely music, they were emotion incarnate, resonating with the eternal pulse of the universe. Among those touched by the harmonies was Eurydice, a nymph of radiant grace and quiet charm. Their love blossomed quickly, like spring emerging from frost. They were married beneath the trees, their voice whispered among rustling leaves and joyful bird song. But fate, so often cruel in the tales, had other plans. Not long after their union, while walking through the forest, was beaten by a serpent hiding in the grass. Within a moment, her life was gone, her soul swept away to the cold halls of the underworld. Orpheus, Orpheus, consumed by grief, refused to accept her loss. He descended into the realm of the dead, a place from which no mortal had returned. With nothing but his eyrie, he stepped into the shadows of Hades, his music echoing through caverns of despair. As he played, the soul of the damned wept. The furious embodiment of vengeance softened even the heart of Hades, god of the underworld, was stirred. Persephone, his queen, wept silent tears, moved by the power of the devotion. Hades offered Orpheus a chance. Eurydice would follow him back to the world of the living. But there was one condition. He must not look back until they had both reached the surface. Orpheus agreed. He began his ascent, his heart pounding with each step, the silence behind him heavier than stone. He dared not speak, dared not call her name. Every nerve in his body screamed to know if she was still there. As they reached the final step into daylight, the pool of doubt overcame him. Was she truly behind him? Was it a trick of the gods? In a moment of weakness, just one glance, he turned. And in the instant, Eurydice was gone. She had been there, her hand just behind his reach, but bound by the law of the underworld. She was dragged back into the shadows, her face frozen in sorrows. Orpheus fell to his knees, his music silent. He had loved with all his soul and lost to his first to death, then to doubt. He wandered the earth after that, playing no songs of joy, only laments, so mournful they made the gods themselves tremble. He refused the love of others. Some say he never spoke again. Others say he sang to the stars, hoping one day Eurydice might hear. In the end, his own life met a violent end, but the masses gathered his remains and laid them beside his eyrie. The story of Orpheus and Eurydice is a hymn to devotion, a requiem for lost chance, a love that defied death, but not the frugality of human fear. It reminds us that even the greatest passion may falter under the weight of uncertainty. Yet even in failure, Orpheus's love became legend, an eternal echo in the hall of myth.